Alright, here we go. Two of the biggest games of this round, and this one, in my opinion, is the biggest of the two. I know there's a grand final rematch, and we will do a separate preview for that, but the Panthers and the Sydney Roosters. Now, the reason that this game is so big, and the one I'm personally looking forward to, is because we've got the Premiers-elect in the Sydney Roosters, in terms of the tabs, in terms of the pub test. Most people seem to think the Sydney Roosters team on paper is the team that is going to win the competition in 2026. Then you have the Penrith Panthers. They have won 4 of the past 5 premierships, and they have started 2026 like a house on fire, like a panther, rather, for their prey. So this shapes up as a really good match. The Roosters last start winners, the Penrith Panthers dominant and convincing winners in their opening 2 rounds against the Brisbane Broncos and the Cronulla Sharks. So, who's going to win this one and why? Head to head, let's see how they shape up, and then I'll give you my prediction. Make sure to give the video if you are new, make sure to give it a lot. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers, all that good stuff. You already know. Now let's get straight back to the video. Alright, so head to head, in the last 4 results, we can see that the Panthers have won the last 3 of the 4 encounters against the Sydney Roosters. This dates back to March 2024, up into April last year when these two teams last met. The Panthers running out convincing winners, 40 points to 12 against the Sydney Roosters. Head to head at Allianz Stadium, the Panthers have won the last 3 meetings, so there's no home ground advantage for the Chooks either. In terms of the lineups, both teams shape up really strong. Reece Robson returns for the Sydney Roosters and makes his official club debut, which is great news for the Chooks. And then for the Penrith Panthers, they're as expected, 1-17, and have been really strong. Shaping up the Penrith Panthers. Look, in terms of the head-to-head key players, it's hard to go past the 2 fullbacks. I think James Tedesco has been the Roosters' best so far in their opening 2 fixtures. He's leading the side in terms of tackle bust and meters gained, so he's staying really busy. He's already scored a try so far this season, and he is the constant in what is a new and gelling halves pairing in Daly Cherry-Evans and Sam Walker. Daly Cherry-Evans had a more solid performance against the South Sydney Rabbitohs, quietening up some of the critics who are suggesting that Father Time has caught up with the former Manly Sea Eagle. Now, the Penrith Panthers, Dylan Edwards, averaging over 200 metres a game. Nothing new for Dylan Edwards. He is the incumbent New South Wales fullback. James Tedesco, let's not forget, lost his jersey out to Dylan Edwards a few seasons ago, so this shapes up as an early State of Origin trial. In terms of Dylan Edwards, dominating in terms of Dally M votes already as well. He's been a constant threat in terms of line breaks, tackle busts, and already scoring a few tries himself. The Penrith Panthers, so dominant in terms of the fact that they've conceded 6 points in the opening 2 rounds against the 2 sides who made up a half of the final 4 teams in the final series last year. It's not only convincing, it's emphatic and it's inarguable. The Panthers are extremely difficult to beat, and the Roosters will need to be at their best. While they showed promising signs against the South Sydney Rabbitohs in terms of their go forward, that will put them in good stead and give them some confidence that they can take it to this Panthers pack. In terms of where the game will be won, as I mentioned, the head-to-head in the 2 fullbacks, it will be key for me because I think that the 2 sides almost cancel themselves out in the other areas. It does shape up as a good forwards battle. I thought that Nafahu White for the Roosters was brilliant against the South Sydney Rabbitohs, running for nearly 200 metres, was the number 8. Lindsay Collins you always know what you're going to get. Angus Crichton is always a threat on that left-hand edge. But the battle of the back line, you got Marky Mark. I butchered his last name last time. Don't ask me to try that again. Robert Toyer. You still don't have Billy Smith coming back. So, yeah, that's a shame for the Roosters. But the back 5, I think they'll cancel each other out. Both of them really support their forward packs getting out of the end. So really, it's going to come down to who controls the ruck and who takes the key moments. So that's why I think the fullbacks are going to be really key here. I think that it's going to be Dylan Edwards or James Tedesco taking the headlines at the end of the match. I think it will be a close game. It's a really difficult one to pick. In saying that, I do seem to think that the Penrith Panthers are going to win. It's just too difficult to bet against them. As I said earlier, The fact that they've conceded 6 points against the Cronulla Sharks and the Brisbane Broncos, this isn't weak sides. These aren't teams that you shrug your shoulders at. They have won in convincing fashion, and for that reason, you simply cannot go past the Penrith Panthers. I think they are going to win, and I dare say they're going to win by a convincing margin. I'm going to say the Panthers by 14.